Listening is overrated. Yes, I'm saying it. Listening is overrated. If you're being coached in sales to listen better, then you need to ask what that means. So if you want to close more sales, it's all about the hearing. It's not about the listening. So many people think that, yes, I'm standing here quietly. I hear what you're saying, but do you really hear what they're saying? Do you hear the emotions? Do you hear the tentativeness in their voice? Do you hear the frustration they might have? And then do you ask about it? I'm Marla Kopal. I'm a sales skills expert. I've helped people make over 50 million in sales. What I want to share with you today is the most finely tuned skill you will ever need to succeed in sales. It's the ability to be quiet, and it's the ability to hear what people are saying. Forget about the listening. Just hear what they say. So what I want you to do is subscribe to this channel so that you'll catch me the next time I go live. Now let's dive in. I'm going to give you 3 tips here about hearing. I know many of you have heard these before, but here's the deal. If you're not practicing it yet, then this is where you start. It's the last month of 2024. Many of you are trying to make a lot of sales. If you're not making those sales to make your numbers for the year, then stop, take a moment, and listen to this. This is so simple, you'll think, it's not that easy. It really is this easy. So most sales trainers, coaches will tell you how to listen. They'll tell you how to listen so that you can respond to what's being said. I'm going to show you how to hear what is said and give you 0 responses, except you'll grow your awareness and you'll know what to do. So here's one of the 3 ways that you want to improve your hearing. Words are only half the story. So we know that. We've been told that, right? But what we forget to do is to think about, what am I hearing? What's that tone of voice mean? What is that tone of voice? What could they mean besides just the literal words? So we're looking to hear emotions. And if we're not hearing those emotions, then it's okay to ask some really interesting questions. But in this case, let's talk about the customer that just says, I'm frustrated with the current service I have, and I'm looking to change. Okay? How many of you that are listening might just go ahead and say, okay, well, let's get going. Let me tell you what we have and let's see if it's going to work for you. Wrong. I want you to hear first. So if you're a hearing salesperson, what is it you're going to respond with? Not to, with. You're going to say, well, so you're telling me you're frustrated. What is frustrating you? So simple, right? Or what's the most frustrating for you about the service you have now? Or tell me more about what is frustrating you. Any of those are ways in. So the key word here when you're hearing is frustration. Now, I'll bet you there's about, I'll just be generous, there's about 50% of you that want to run away and say, oh, I don't want to know that. I'm going to get into a story. It's going to be too much drama. But wait a minute. That's what you need in order to sell. No bait you have is going to help a buyer buy if you don't understand whether or not you are helping resolve that frustration. So you better ask. So tell me more about your frustration. That's point number 1. Point number 2 is to hear the silence. When someone's pausing to think, allow them that thought process. So many of us want to fill in that silence with words. And so we just might follow up when we ask a question that says, we've asked them something like the one I just did previously, where I asked them what their frustration was. Well, what if it takes them 30 seconds? What if it takes them 60 seconds to think up their answer? Your job is to be patient and to wait. And not reframe, not keep chattering, not offer a response. It's their time to speak. Now, there are people like me, I'll probably respond to you within about 10 seconds. But there are not people who are designed like me, and they're going to take that 30-second pause to decide, reflect on what they want to say and how they want to share it. They internalize before they share. That silence is your gold mine. That is where the nuggets will come that will help you set your conversation into one that might potentially be converted into a sale. So what does it take to listen through the silence? It takes you being a very, very open person. It takes you not fearful of needing to have an answer. So in order to have silence, you personally have to have some skills. One is to never feel obligated to have all the answers. The second one is to feel obligated to have patience. And then the next one is obviously to sit there and be openly empathetic to whatever is said and not just rush on with your solutions once they tell you what their frustration is. Sit there and talk about it for a while. Reaffirm what it is they shared with you so that they know they were heard. Lastly, when you are in a conversation in which you need a lot of hearing, is you're listening for the emotions. Now, notice I said the word listening, but if you can hear the emotions, then you heard. So what you're wanting to see is, where are the inflections of their voice? Where's their tone of voice? Is it disappointed? Is it excited? Is it frustrated? Is it hesitating? But when a buyer says to you, I think this might work for me, how many of you are prone right now to go jump in and give them a solution? Okay, great. Well, if this might work for you, let's talk about how it will work for you. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's a key word in there, might. And when they say might, then you need to go back in and hear a little bit longer about what's going on. So what does might mean? This might work for me. Well, they're not sure. There's no certainty there. If there's no certainty, your job is not done. So you might just say, well, tell me more about what is making you feel uncomfortable, or what's making you feel uncertain, or did you have some more questions waiting for me to ask? Any of those things. Now, if any of you are afraid to ask any of those opening questions and get the conversation back on track, then sales is not for you. And if you're just looking for an easy out and you're looking for a script and someone to tell you, well, let me tell you, those coaches are a dime a dozen out there. And many of you think you ask open-ended questions, but I'm still going to ask you, did you hear the answer? If your hearing is impaired when it comes to sales and you find yourself talking too much, having somebody say, no, 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 that's not what I meant, or no, you're not listening to me, then it is time for you to tune in more to hearing. So you want to stay in touch with me, subscribe to this channel, and ask me for more tips anytime you want. You just get my links down there below, or you leave it in the comments.